Sahir, you're fighting on March the 11th, back on our VIP show, this time not in Liverpool, but closer to home, Bolton.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to finally fighting at home, but to be honest, it's one of them where I just want to get out. Wherever it was, it would have been fighting.
Well, prior to because you got added to the December show last year, very late, we had a pull out, and Steve managed to fit you in on the show, and it was just a little four-rounder against a kid called George Rogers, who actually has just appeared on, I don't know if you watch it, we have a podcast called Bell to Bell, John Evans and Steve Lillis host it, and he had George Rogers on as a guest, and they were asking him about, toughest opponents that he's faced, because I think he's, in a short period of time that he's been a professional, he's had about 30 odd fights, and your name cropped up, mate. He said the toughest kid I fought, or certainly the best kid he fought, you, mate.
No, it's good to hear stuff like that, but it's one of them where, it's just showing it again, and even in that fight, I actually tore my bicep in the first round.
Yeah?
And I've not, obviously, you're in a fight, so I was thinking, just keep throwing it, but no, it's good to hear stuff like that.
Well, like I say, I come across you quite a few years ago when you were just first thinking of turning over. A phenomenal amateur. You won crazy amounts of things as an amateur. I mean, was it 4 or 5 national titles?
5 national titles, 5 GB titles, and a European silver.
Just a bit then.
Yeah.
But then a very, very bad back injury that not only were you not going to be able to box again, but you might not even walk again.
Yeah, well, that's what they were saying anyway. But it was, it was over like a 2-year period as well, where it was just, it was like seeing the physio, getting epidural steroid injections and stuff like that, and got to a point where nothing was working, and I said, you have to just operate on me, and they were saying, giving the risks and stuff like that. But it's one of them when you've been boxing all your life and you think, you can't sit on the sidelines anymore, especially when I was getting ready for the Youth Olympics and stuff as well, and I thought, it's going to happen now or not, so I had to get the operation done, and alhamdulillah, it's all gone well, and I've not felt any pain or anything since then. So.
But prior to your return to the ring on our show in December, he was almost, I think it was close to 2.5 years out. You just won the World Youth Championship, which I think you got to be under 24 to be eligible for that.
Yeah.
And you won that in, I think it was just your 8th fight, was it?
Yeah, that was my 8th fight. Yeah.
Yeah. So why was the big layoff then? I know you did mention this to me last time we spoke, but I forgot.
Well, it was, to be honest, after that fight we were meant to fight like after 3 months, and then I got a cancellation. I was going to fight a month after that, there was another cancellation, and it got to a point where I was saying yes to everyone, and it seemed like there was no fights happening, there was show cancellations and everything, and then we were trying to get, our medical took a bit of a while getting done, and then I changed trainers, and obviously that takes a while because you want to get used to the trainer as well.
You used to be down at Johnny Royce's for a while. I remember
John.
bumping into you. I went up to catch up with Pat Brown, who was training up there at the time. I seen you in the background up there, because I think I also used to see you when you first were looking to kick over. It was down at Oliver Harrison's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously Oliver passed away, didn't he?
So yeah, there was just a lot of change happening, and then there was very, very unlucky. If I was to tell someone how it was, they'd think I was joking, So
if it wasn't for bad luck, you'd have no luck, would you, mate?
Yeah, it's true. So no, but I'm glad that we've got momentum going now. So I'm kind of forgetting everything that happened and pushing on now.
Well, you've got a good opponent, if I'm right. I spoke to Steve Wood, because like I say, you just only got added a few days ago, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you're fighting a kid who's fought on our show numerous occasions. Valdez, I'll put a picture up in his name because I'm terrible, but he's Val Populus. If you can pronounce it better than me, I don't know. But he's a really good tester. I know his record isn't brilliant. I think he's 8-30 or something like that. But in his 8 wins, he's had 5 knockouts, and he got a good win. In fact, he got back-to-back wins not long ago. He beat Tom Farrell on one of the VIP shows, and then a kid who was, I think, unbeaten in 13 fights or 14 fights, and got a win over him. And he first came to my attention probably about 4 or 5 years ago when he stopped a kid who I think was unbeaten at the time, called Joe Wood. Stopped him in the second round. A real been in with Danny Wright. You'll know Danny Wright from the amateur days, won't you? Danny Wright, Ryan Mulcahy, been on our shows numerous occasions. Always gives a good account of himself.
Yeah, no. So, to be honest, that's what I wanted. I spoke to Anthony as well, and I said, look, like obviously you saw the last fight, and it wasn't much coming back. I was just, it was just me going forward and throwing, and I think when you have a live opponent there, you can show your skills a bit more rather than just having to chase someone down. So no, I'm glad we got someone that's actually good fight.
I think he realised in the first round that he wasn't going to get anything out of the fight, and for him to fight the week afterwards, he knew he had to show up shot. But very tricky, quite good feet on him. He switches, he's awkward, very hard to pin down, but wasn't really awkward for you. And I was surprised he managed to see the final bell because you were very, very dominant.
No, they have a job to do, don't they, to survive and go to next week. So it's one of them, you can't say nothing to them. But it's just it's up to me really to pick it up and get the stoppages. So no, I'm glad I've got a bit more of a live opponent, and I've not really seen anything of him. I just found out
his game because I don't think he thinks of himself as a journeyman, and he's only young. I think he's about 26. I think, is that what you are, 26? And I think if he would have had a little bit of backing, I think the kid's good enough to go somewhere. But what I think is very unfair is the size of you, mate. I know he fought, light middleweights before on our shows. I've never seen a light middleweight as big as you.
So I make it quite easy as well. I'm trying to actually fill out to get a bit more.
I remember you as a welterweight, and you were huge as a welterweight, but didn't look too healthy.
No.
As a light middleweight, you've sort of got that happy medium. You're still absolutely massive, but you look really well. It's a bit like I was saying, your stablemate Jose Burton. He looks better now as a cruiserweight than he did when he was a light heavyweight. He looks healthier.
No, I think that's a testament to my strength and conditioning coach, Martin Cullen, because he's really helped fill me out. And obviously, when I first went to him, I was horrible. Like, he was showing me stuff to do, and I was struggling quite a lot, like with tiny weights. But no, since my title fight, I've been with him since then, and seen big improvements.
Yeah. Well, he's done wonders with James Moorcroft and everything, and James is another freak, for a welterweight.
He's big.
Really big guy. So I'm really chuffed that someone else's bad luck has become our good luck, because we get to see you fight twice on our shows in the matter of a few months, and I do believe you're a kid to watch out for, because like I say, I think just get all this ring rust off. Surely you're going to get picked up by some big promoter, and titles are going to come your way before the end of the year.
Yeah, I think that's the game plan anyway, but so then you take one fighter at a time, and I think I know what level I'm at, so it's just showing it on the shows.
Where do you hope to go?
To the top.
Yeah.
I think that's the if you're a boxer and you're looking to go to the top, you've got to be going for the world titles.
I think when you've won as much as you have as an amateur, it'd be crazy for you not to think that way.
Yeah, because as an amateur, I was ranked 6th in the world as well. So, if
I spoke to Luke Evans. Luke Evans is fighting on the same show. He's top of the bill there, and he said he fought you as an amateur, and at the time I think you were ranked 7th in the world.
Yeah. So it's one of them, when as an amateur, you've been there. I've been around everywhere and seen that I can be up there with the best. So if you go into a pro, it's a different game, but when you've been there at the top,
it's different but the same.
But pretty much. But,
and do you feel like you're really settling in, because you would have been, your success would have been in that era of point scoring system. It would have only been the last year or so when we went back to 10-9, and that era, as good as we became at it, didn't really benefit you in the pro game. So was it much tweaking that you had to do to be a successful pro as you were an amateur?
I think you've got to change the game plan a bit, or you don't move your feet as much, and you've got to look at hurting your opponents rather than just scoring a point. Which I think I have started doing now.
Well, James, another one of your stablemates, James was a very good amateur as well, and he said, never threw body shots, didn't really throw combinations, because when it was a point scoring system, what's the use of throwing 4 or 5 punches when you're only going to get 1 point? And often they wouldn't score body punches, So it was a big transition for him, and it seems like you're making that transition really, really well.
Yeah, no, he's right there where body shots wouldn't count as an amateur. They look at like a straight line as it is, so throwing hooks, even hooks in general, it's not, you know, it's not thingy, but I think as a pro, yeah, no, it's definitely changed, but you adapt, you know. I think if you're good enough, you can adapt to anything really, and I think I've done that quite well.
I don't think Samir is on the show.
No, he is. March 11th.
Is he on it?
Yeah.
Is he? Alright, because I've got a thing, but it's all been changed. That's going to be our 3rd show in 3 weeks back to back. It's getting tiring. But I am looking forward to it because, like I say, yourself's on there. Luke Evans has got a really good fight on there against Robin Zamora, who fought your stablemate Jay James not long ago. And we've got a shed load of talented fighters on there. Like I say, obviously you've been one of them. So hopefully we might see you on again a few more times before you get to challenge for titles. Because like I just said before, you must be, before the end of the year, you must be looking, you've already been on the 10 round. I know it was 2.5 years ago, but
yeah, no, that's the thing. Where I see myself, and I think Anthony agrees with me, is where we're ready for titles now. It's just getting the rounds in, and I think after this fight, you know, I'll be ready for anyone.
I think you might be. Whether they're ready for you, I don't know. But good luck for March 11th. Hopefully I'll be down there. Well, I will be down there. We'll be filming it, and I'll be chatting to you, and I'll be saying win number 10.
Yeah, no, win number 10. I appreciate it.
You take care, kiddo. See you later, mate. Bye.
For all boxing info, news, and latest interviews, amateur and pro across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.